for the best of national, local, international news and sport. Tune in to News Punch and Diamond 88.7 FM. News Punch, all about the news.
It's exactly 9 a.m. A very good morning to you, and thank you for joining us in today's edition of the News Punch, reaching you from Diamond 88.7 FM, Ilorin. This is where we bring you the trending stories across the globe. My name is BISOLA ODUWOLE Suleiman, and here are the stories making the waves across the world. In Nigeria, banks under the aegis of the Association of Corporate Affairs Managers of Banks, ACAMB, have debunked the claim of shutting down services for the general elections slated for Saturday, February 25, 2023. Following the polls, there have been some trending messages suggesting that commercial banks will close its services. But in a statement on Wednesday, ACAMB President Rashid Bolariwa said the messages were concocted by faceless authors. The motive, is stated, was to cause disaffection among Nigerians and the deposit money banks. In Kwara State, the entire members of Coalition of Peter Obi Support Group Kwara Chapter have expressed the disappointment with some leaders of the Labour Party and who they called greedy candidates who are going around negotiating the collapse of the Obi-Dati structure in Kwara State. The CPO, in a press conference at the Labour Party's house yesterday, said the Kwara State Chapter has a backbone, strong force, if not the most reliable assurance to get the expected votes in Kwara State. The group stressed that the Obi-Dati 2023 mandate in Kwara State has never collapsed the structure or formed an alliance with any political party or group of people to sell the Obi-Dati mandate. The CPO appealed to the public who have decided to cast their votes for Obi-Dati come 25th February 2023 to ignore whoever may misguide the public between now and before the election and stand firm with the party. And on the foreign scene, South Africa's military yesterday defended its decision to host controversial naval exercises jointly staged with Russia and China and coinciding with the one-year anniversary of the Kremlin invasion of Ukraine. Originally slated to start last week, the exercise dubbed Mosi II kicked off yesterday along South Africa's eastern coast. But coming on the eve of the anniversary of Russia's onslaught on Ukraine, the drills were described by commentators as politically dubious and showing insensitivity. Lieutenant General Sifiwe Sanguweni, Chief of Joint Operations in the South African National Defense Force, said the army was guided by the government but also needed to learn skills from other military forces to protect South Africa and for use in international peacekeeping operations. In the world of sports, Confederation of African Football (CAF) have congratulated Flying Eagles forward Solomon Agbalaka following his Man of the Match award in the victory over the Young Pharaohs of Egypt at the 2023 Under-20 AFCON. The Flying Eagles yesterday defeated host nation Egypt 1-0 at the Cairo International Stadium. Agbalaka's header in the 71st minute gave Nigeria the win over the Young Pharaohs. CAF took to Twitter to congratulate the young star. And that's all we have for you on this morning's edition of the News Punch. Up next is the Diamond Breakfast Show, where we take a look at the analysis of some of the major stories making the rounds. Just stay with us. We will be right back.
The major talking points in Nigeria are always on the lips of the citizens.
What's going on in this country? Look at smaller countries taking lead and you call yourself giant of Africa. Where?
Nigeria don't spoil my business too much. Nigeria is too hard for us. I mean, I want to kill us. Father, not kill us for Nigeria. Please, help us beg them.
They should reduce their expenditure so that they can free enough money for social development.
I wish for a Nigeria where we elect a leader based on competency and not popularity.
On the Diamond Breakfast Show, we place shines the spotlight on the critical issues in the country.
Government that says they are broke can prioritize construction of an additional runway over education of the people.
How can a government, how can you hold Indomine? This is intolerable. It's provocative.
Now, you see, when you look at our democratic journey, we are yet to practice genuine democratic system in Nigeria.
Join us on Mondays to Friday on the DBS from 9 to 10 a.m. The Diamond Breakfast Show, amplifying the voice of the people.
From the studios of Diamond 88.7 FM in Ilorin, this is the Diamond Breakfast Show.
7 FM, Ilorin. This is the Diamond Breakfast Show. This is your breakfast program where we take a look at the analysis of some of the major stories making the rounds. We have a lot of conversations around it, and then we go on to open up the phone lines and the WhatsApp platforms to get your reactions on the issues discussed as well. This morning is not going to be different. We'll be taking a look at the analysis of some of the major stories. To do this with me this morning, I have Dr. Adi Mashood Atonda. He is the Director, General Studies, Kwara State College of Education, Ilorin, and he is a public affairs analyst. A very good morning to you, Dr. Adi.
Good morning, Bisola. And listeners all over the world, good morning to you all.
All right, a very good morning to you. It's nice to have you in the studio.
Thank you, ma.
All right, and now before we get into the program proper, don't forget you can watch us live on Facebook at Diamond 887 FM and YouTube Diamond FM Ilorin. The WhatsApp platform is 09136556864. My name is BISOLA ODUWOLE, and I'm your host on the Diamond Breakfast Show this morning. Let's quickly get into the first story of the day, and we're talking about the elections. Well, of course, this is a conversation that everyone is having right now. INEC is ready for the election. The Electoral Commission has stated that they have stated this at every occasion to let us know that they are ready for this coming election. It is obviously needed to douse the tension caused by the ongoing insecurity and naira scarcity. Before coming out to say it is ready, INEC must have, of course, done its homework. Saturday is just 2 days away. We have Friday tomorrow and then Saturday, the D-Day that everyone is looking out for. And the outcome will give the public something to feast on. So everyone, the world at large, is waiting for this particular election. However, in another development, lots of permanent voters' cards were recovered yesterday in Anambra. This is believed to be one of the many possibilities of such in other parts of the Federation. With just some days away, is this the right development towards the transparency goal? Security has been divided in many areas. One is occasioned by insurgency, the other by tribal groups, and now lots of violence occasioned by the naira scarcity. So this is definitely not about INEC, but of course we still need to talk about INEC as regards the election. But the facts that we have right now, do the facts prove that we're truly ready for this election, this coming election, everything that is going on right now at the moment?
Thank you once again, Bisola. Is a reality, bitter truth, that we are ready.
Okay.
Because we don't want even any other thing. Nigerians, in the lips of every Nigerians now, is that let just this election come and go. Because people now believe that the problem we are facing right now, the problems of scarcity is because of the election. So people are now waiting patiently just to have the election go so that they can have money. So if for that alone, I think people are ready. So so we have to believe that with that, people are ready. On the side of the INEC told us several times they are ready for this election.
Yes.
And as at yesterday, the INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, has told us that they have requested for cash from CBN, and that cash has been given to them. And they are already deploying that cash to different states for logistics. Not only that, they are still going to use cash transfer too. The cash transfer is for those on essential services that they need, they have the facilities to receive the cash, cash transfer. So they are already on that. And by now, they have been deploying the sensitive materials to local governments. And by tomorrow, Friday, according to the chairman, the centers for the collation center will be live. And so with all this, they are ready. And already they have also make arrangement with some filling stations to get fuel for those vehicles that will be on essential services, distribution of a vehicle, and even the riverine areas, the boats they have to use to transport these materials. They have already make arrangement for fuel and everything. So with this, we believe they are ready. And yesterday too, as part of their preparation, there was a meeting between the service chiefs and the INEC and the president. And at that meeting, the security, on the part of the security, they are also ready. And with the briefing done yesterday by the chief of defense staff, we are told that everything is ready, and they are already deploying all their personnel to various areas. So with this, and with what I've said I've been issued, that the people themselves, they are also ready. So we believe we put all this together, we can say we are ready for the election. So we don't want anything that will hamper the election from going on. All right. So we are ready.
We are ready.
INEC is ready.
Now, talking about being ready, before the Naira crisis, we had lots of security issues to contend with. And you also mentioned that the INEC chairman had a meeting with the security chiefs.
Yes.
Now, we have further security threats from other areas. We have insurgency, we have kidnapping, and lots going on right now in the country. But before the election, we have recorded a lot of successes. We have recorded a lot of good things that the Nigerian army has done, the Nigerian police and the likes, against insecurity. Now, does this make the election look like a walkover for our security agents, knowing that we have had successes in certain areas as regards security? So coming into these elections right now, does it look like, okay, it will be easy peasy for them, it will be a smooth ride all through for them?
No, it is not. It is not. Because if you look at election, the way it goes, we have various categories of observation period. Pre-election, during election, and post-election. So if we look at the pre, we can say the security are having a kind of relief that things are okay. But the election day, nobody can tell. And already, when we talk of credibility of election, the every electoral umpire will want credibility. But already, people are already being discredited already before we even talk of credibility. So the discredibility of people will hamper the credibility of that election. What do you understand what I mean? Already, people are already tired of having no money, suffering for cash collection and all the rest. So with this, what we can say that election is credible is when we don't have vote buying, when we don't have inducement of the politician to the electorate. But already we have been discredited. We have been overwhelmed by a lot of crises already. That little push to anybody, they can easily be discredited. And that's what I mean by people have been discredited. So that will affect the credibility of the election. So no doubt about that. So except now that I don't even know, because up to this morning, it's still very difficult to get money. I saw some on my way coming here, few POS people are queuing as if they are in the bank. So people are still not having it easy. And now the transfer is getting it, to make it worse. People are doing transfers since yesterday, transfer is not going. So that even make it worse, because if at all you don't get cash and you still have to get something from people and you need to transfer to them, people are not getting the money. So these things are making it more burdensome on the people. And this now is affecting that if anybody should just give them a token, they will affect their credibility. So this on one side is why we are saying that we may not have a credible election, sort of, because of the circumstances that we find ourselves. And all the problem that was created was because they want to have a credible election. And now you want to have a credible election and you have discredited people already. So that you can see that those behind the arrangement do not look beyond their own eyes, because to see that what they are doing, instead of in order to protect the election, they are doing it to discredit the election. And that is the worrisome thing about all the whole situation. So what we are now saying is that for the election day, we may not have problem.
Right.
And with little, if people get around, people have to sell their vote. And now post-election is the main problem now, where the security have to get more prepared.
All right, still talking about security, and we will be back, but when we come back, we'll take a look at the major lapses in our security architecture that make it so vulnerable to attacks at this point in time. We will be back to stay with us. It is still the Diamond Breakfast Show, and don't forget, you can send in your contributions via WhatsApp 091 3655 6864. We'll be right back.
Diamond FM, your one-stop dial.
ikú parapọ̀ ikú ọmọlé èrún parapọ̀ wọ́n máa gìyàn gbogbo ọmọ ìpínlẹ̀ kóra ẹja parapọ̀ sóríire látara ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú People's Democratic Party PDP ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú tó mẹ̀tọ́ tó mú ká yóò gbẹdẹmukẹ fún tolórí tẹlẹ́mù tó nílé tàlejò nígbà tí wọ́n ṣèjọba ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú PDP láàánú mẹ̀kúnnù bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọ́n kó àkóyawọ́ àwọn àkànṣe iṣẹ́ jàǹkànjàǹkàn ní díẹ̀ nínú àwọn iṣẹ́ tí ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú PDP ti ṣe sẹ́yìn ẹja tara ṣàṣàgbá káàdì ìdìbò wa ká parapọ̀ dẹ́gbẹ́ òṣèlú PDP padà àní sọ̀bùnú bẹ́ẹ̀ là ní ṣìbòdì.
ẹ̀yin ará Kwara mi ọ̀wọ́n ká dìbò fẹ́gbẹ́ tó láàánú ará ìlú ó sú wa ẹ jẹ́ ká dìbò fún ẹgbẹ́ PDP.
PDP, power to the people.
You're listening to Diamond 88.7 FM, shining supreme.
Shine bright like a diamond.
All right, welcome back. You're still tuned in and listening to the Diamond Breakfast Show, reaching you from Diamond 88.7 FM, Ilorin. And I still have my guest in the building. I have Dr. Adi Mashood Atonda in the building this morning. And before we went on the break, I asked you a question about the major lapses in our security architecture that makes it vulnerable to attacks.
On that, you remember that the security people also, they are part of the community. They are part of the society. They are also part of this sovereign that we are all going through. And what it makes difficult for people is that how will you expect the security men to be posted on duty for the election that will not have cash on them, that will not have money on them to settle their family? It is when you have peace of mind at home that you can be thinking of providing a better security. So this also makes them vulnerable to little inducement from even the politician and all the rest, because they have also been affected by the cash crunch, and this is also affecting their family, is affecting them. So the morale they are going to take to that work is not there. Their morale is already dampened. Now, coupled with the fact that even the security outfits now will need to get cash for this operation. Their vehicle, we need the fuel. The personnel too, we need to deploy. They will have to give them money too, to give down to the men, the rank and file of the men who will be posted on duty. And if there's no cash, and you want to send people out and say, just go obey your command and just go out, you see, if they go out, BISOLA, they will go out, they will not be happy to do the job. So this makes them to be also vulnerable for every other things that will happen on the election day. So we expect now that every governors who are the chief security officer of their state should make fund available for the security personnel in terms of providing fuel for their vehicles. And all the officers at the top too, if money is given to them, please, I'm using this program to call to appeal to them. They should deploy this money to all those officers who will go out for duty on that day, so that it should not be pocketed by the officers at the top. Because whatever is affecting the officers at the top is affecting the officers at the bottom. So they should think of them and also deploy this money that is given to them to all the officers, so that they'll be happy to do that work. Because we are serving the nation, and if you are not happy, you will not be happy to do the job as it's supposed to be done. So if anything happens on the day, if the security personnel are not happy, we don't expect a very good result.
All right, Dr. Atonda, some PVCs were found in a forest in Anambra State. This is a discovery coming a few days to the election. Where is this discovery leading to as far as this election is concerned?
That when I read that report yesterday, it was unfortunate that a hunter found that bag of PVC, took it to a private radio station. The radio station, other than taking it to the security personnel, now took the PVC to their traditional leader. The traditional leader now begin to call people to come and check their PVC in his house. Is that how it's supposed to be done? Actually, it was found that that PVC belongs to a particular community.
All right.
But how did it get to that place? If not because it wanted to be used for a clandestine activities somewhere. Okay. But maybe unfortunately somewhere, the person was caught up and just dropped the bag inside the bush. But when it was recovered, I believe it is the property of INEC. It's supposed to be handed over to INEC, not to the traditional or security agent, not to the traditional ruler that and then start distributing among themselves. And now the INEC cannot take inventory of those PVC now to say this is the particular number that was taken. So it will affect the credibility of that election if care is not taken, because the politicians there will now begin to insinuate that thing has been given to people, and if not care is not taken, it will lead to overvoting. But thank God the beavers that is being used will not allow that.
I was just about to point that out.
Because the beavers now that we are going to be accredited, there is a data for the polling booth registered voters.
All right.
Then on the day of election, those who will vote will be accredited. So there will be a data for accredited voters. And then at the end, there will be a data for the voted, the candidate that actually vote in that polling booth. So there is going to be a correlation between the registered voter, the accredited voters, and the number of vote cast in that polling unit. So that makes it very difficult for anybody to manipulate anything. So whoever is having or keeping the PVC, let them keep it. If it is not, they are not properly accredited, they cannot use it. So, but I believe the security personnel are already finding out, investigating that scenario. But it's not difficult for them to investigate. We know how the route, the process that thing has gone through. So let them go through that process, collect the PVC back and return it to INEC.
All right.
So
then
for proper correction, they will do the needful.
All right. Now, before we go, let's quickly talk about Nigerians, voters now. Nigerians are the ones selling their rights to politicians. And we know that vote buying is something we want to take out of this whole electoral process, but we cannot rule it out completely. We are still talking about it. We're still having conversations around it. Now, what do we lack as a people to understand that we own the key to whatever will happen to this nation, such that a lot of people do not even care about their votes. They feel like, oh, as long as you can give me money and it can meet my current needs, I don't mind selling my vote. What are the major things that we lack, things that we do not understand as a people that makes us do that at the end of the day?
Before I go to what we lack, I first of all dwell on the arrangement that the country has placed on us. We have a majority of Nigerians being on the lower side of the realm. That is the poverty level on the high increase.
Right.
And when there is poverty, plenty of poverty in the society, no matter it will affect the psyche of the people. So we will not be able to think rightly. And the politicians have decided they know our problem, and they have made up that way so that they will be able to use us to achieve their own end, because they know that if poverty is that's why most of them, if they become elected after voting for them, they have not done anything to make us get us out of that poverty situation. They want to keep us on that level so that they can be using us often and often for their own selfish end.
All right.
There was a there was a particular, was it, I've forgotten the name of the president, I mean the politician in Russia. He went to his people. He brought a live chicken. Then he came out, there are plenty there, they gathered. Then he started plucking the feather of this chicken, this cock. After plucking the whole feather, the cock was reading in pain with blood coming out of his body. Then after plucking the whole feather, he dropped the live cock on the ground and now give little feed for that cock. You know, the cock just looked up and saw the little feed on the ground, started eating. Then the man went from there to start to sit on his seat. Then the cock, and then just after finishing that little feed, the cock was following because it was dropping little on the way until it got to his feet, to his seat. And then the cock was following, not knowing that this is the same man that has plucked out and has put him in a lot of suffering. But because of the little, he feel that he is just his savior and started following him. Later, the man went to his people and said, "Do you know what I have just done?" That is the description of we, the politicians. We are, you people are like this cock. We are the politicians, like the way if we give you enough, that's why the suffering that you go through, the little we still give you, you still worship us and believe that we are your Lord.
All right.
So this is the way the structure has been stratified in such a way that they will keep on impoverish us to continue to serve them.
So how do people get out of this situation?
How do we get out now is now to realize that these people are not our friends. You know the palm kernel. I mean this ekuro. What is the ekuro?
It's palm kernel.
It's palm kernel. You know, if you want to break it, you have to put it on a stone. That's a stone under. You put the kernel on it, and then there's another one on top. So both the stone on top and the both under, they are not the friend of the kernel. So until people realize that they are not our friends, and we have to fight for our right, and know that this little description I've given to you, until we understand that these are the politicians, we are direct in the hands of this politician. Once we realize this, and we now get to know that we have to fight for ourselves, the day we realize that, we are going to liberate ourselves from these people, so because they are not our friends. They are not our friends.
All right.
I'm telling you, they are not. Until the day we realize that, and now we rise up to fight for our right. And the way to fight is now this election, because we have that voting right to keep them there for 4 years. This is the right now. This is the right time now to now tell them that we are powerful. We are more than powerful.
One vote count.
One vote count. And then we now believe that don't mind the amount of money they are going to give you. Whatever amount given to you now cannot suffice you for the next 4 years. All right. And therefore now think of the right person that you know that you can. They are credible enough that can give us and take us out of this poverty level. Then use your thumb now. Forget about their money. Call their bluff. And don't collect any money from any one of them.
All right.
Go and vote your conscience. Determine to get the credible candidate that will take us out of this poverty level. And then know that whatever you do on Saturday, you are the decider of your own fate.
All right.
So once you do that, we'll be able to get to the root of this problem.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Adi Moshood Atonda. Keep the reactions coming in via WhatsApp 091-3655-6864. What are your thoughts on this particular issue we're discussing this morning? I will be going on a very short break now, but before we go, still on this elections, the presidential candidate signed the peace accord yesterday. This is needed as it is necessary for all parties to respect the outcome of the election and caution their supporters not to engage in any form of violence. If an issue was recorded, they can contest in court. We will just talk about this in just one thought as we have a very, very engaging conversation when we come back from the break. But let's talk about this peace accord that has been signed. Has the peace accord helped in the past, in the post-election crisis in the past?
It has helped and it has not helped.
How so?
It has helped first before the election to keep them to sign and keep reminding that they have signed an agreement. But at the end, we discovered that they don't respect it. Look at, there was an agreement that was signed in September. And yesterday or day before yesterday, when they are signing another one, it was yesterday. The report we got was that 44% of violation of that September's agreement was carried out by their spokesperson. The spokesperson of those who signed, 44% of that violation was carried out by them. 26% was carried out by party members. 19% by the presidential candidate themselves. And 11% was carried out by their party supporters, the supporters, while 4% was carried out by their party chairman. So this was the breakdown given to us as at that of September that was signed. Now, when they sign this accord, they don't respect it. So the reason why they don't respect that accord is because immediately after signing, it's just a kind of mere paperwork. So when they get out of that signing, they begin to do another thing. Fortunately, yesterday when they met, they were all laughing and shaking themselves. We saw that. Each of them shaking and laughing and cracking joke. But when they get out there, they do another thing. So what makes them to do that is what we are going to analyze in detail if there is time, so that we'll go into Drew.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Adi Mashuda Tunda. Don't forget, the platforms are open. You can send in your messages via WhatsApp 091365568664. Tell us your thoughts on the issues discussed this morning. I will be back. We need to go on a short timeout. Just stay with us. We'll be right back.
Keep in touch with us from any part of the world. Log on to our website www.diamondfm.net or download our app Diamond FM on Google Play Store or Apple Store.
Everyone loves an upgrade, but with DSTV, you get boosted to a whole new level. Upgrade to more football and get boosted to the most heart-racing sports moments. Upgrade to your favorite shows and get boosted to emotions like never before. Upgrade to the best action movies and get boosted to high-octane scenes that make you shout, woo!
Upgrade your DSTV package and DSTV will boost you to the next higher package. Offer valid from January 25th to March 31st. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, welcome back from the break. We're still talking the February 2023 elections this morning. And we're talking about vote buying, we're talking about security, we're talking about a lot of issues surrounding this coming elections and how people are actually looking forward to the February 25, 2023 elections. It is just about 2 days away. Now, before we went on that break, we talked about the peace accord that these candidates have signed just yesterday, and the ones that they have signed in the past, and the effect, if it has helped or not in the post-election crisis. And Dr. Hadi Moshood, I had to tell him to hold this thought. It was about to tell us why they do not actually follow through with this peace accords. Go ahead.
So they don't follow the peace accord because when immediately after signing, they go back. You have said that 44% were by their spokesperson.
Yes.
The people who signed the accord, after signing the accord, they're supposed to call a larger house of their own members.
Okay.
Now to warn them seriously and tell them that I put my hand into a document. Please respect this document and stop doing this. But they will not do that. They signed the accord except with the few who follow them and the news media, the news that carries it. No, they didn't call. They don't have time to call their members and warn them against all what they have signed. That's number one. Number two, the spokesperson, they want to impress their principals. They want to impress and see that if they are not talking or they are not doing this, they will not see that. They will not see them working.
But aren't there better ways to impress their principals?
The best way is to just abuse the other side now. If you say, you see what I've given another banter today, hey, then the other one too will also reply. So, but if they have actually invite those spokesperson and talk sense to them, please let me respect. Then, secondly, they are not men of integrity themselves. If you are men of integrity, you have to respect what you sign. That I have signed a paper, I mean my signature on the paper that this will not happen. So then if it happens at the top, it doesn't get to the root. And then the party supporters too, they are another thing. They forget that those people they are fighting for on their behalf, they are friends of each other. So they people now get carried away that because they love this, they love that. And then they be fighting themselves and killing themselves at the grassroots, while those people they are fighting on their behalf, they are dying and whining together.
Dr. Adimoshood,
yes.
Do these candidates, or do these people at the top, these candidates per se, do they really have control over the actions or the inactions of their supporters?
They have one way, because there is the party is structured in a kind of a structure that get from the top to the bottom. We have the party chairman, we have the ward chairman, we have the party leaders, we have the women leader, we have the youth leaders. So these people supposed to carry each one of them along, and each of them has the control of their own particular group. So if they have actually worked on each of the leaders, the women leader will work on the women, the youth leader will work on the youth, the party chairman will work on the ward chairman will work on at the ward level. So like that it will go down, and then the same message is being carried along, that this is what our candidates want. I think the message will go down to all the people. But they don't do that. So it just ends at the top and it doesn't go down. And then people now begin to fight because of what they want to collect from them.
All right, let's see if we can take a couple of contributions this morning. You can call us on 091 3655 6952. 091 3655 6952. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Zil from Fatih.
All right, Dr. Zil, good to have you on the show. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I totally agree with the guest in the studio concerning why they don't respect peace accord. It is only a peaceful person that respects peace accord. Majority of our politicians are not peaceful people, by the way they talk in their campaigns. So how do you expect someone to pretentiously tell you it's going to keep any agreement? They are not even open to agreement or to keep agreement as we know them. So you check people's past life and antecedents before you can tell whether the person is a peaceful person or is a person of war. And they also see themselves as warriors. They call themselves gladiators. You know, a gladiator is a peaceful person. They say a political gladiator. That's what they use. So that's why we shouldn't expect them to keep, even this one they signed yesterday. If you just want to pretend as they did yesterday, they have their game plans and it's always out of peace. Then for INEC readiness, INEC said they are ready, but fingers crossed. INEC has always been saying that, but the truth of the matter is, the reality on ground, they are partially ready, but they may not be fully ready.
All right.
By the time on Saturday, the outcome of any thing matters to show whether one is ready. Because the same thing happened when CBN told us they are ready, but at the end of the day, the outcome shows they are not ready.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Zil. Toyosi Ise Alima Tadeyemo says, good morning. I am Alima from Ofa. For me, I do not have any trusted candidate to vote for. What should I do? I guess Dr. Adimoshood will give you an answer to
that. Please, Alima, you have to go and search your conscience and then pick between those that have been imposed on us. You know, they actually impose them on us through their primaries. So, but you just have to search your conscience, at least weigh them. Just put a kind of a rating scale and then rate them and vote for one.
All right, we have a call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
This is Shola calling from Oro.
All right, Shola from Oro. Good to have you. Go ahead.
Thank you. You know, there is a saying that knowledge is power. One of the things that our politicians has made people to look like is they don't allow us to have knowledge about politics in this country. They know that if the masses have knowledge about politics, they are powerless already. So they are trying to keep this knowledge away from people so that people will not be able to do the right thing. This is one of the things that has been causing problem. But if people can begin to have knowledge of what is the politics, we will know that the voters, those who want to vote, the masses are the real politicians who should be able to say, this is where we want you to go, we want you to come back, or we don't want you to be there, or we want you to be there. It all is about knowledge.
All right.
But if there's no knowledge, this thing will not happen. So I want Nigerians now to begin to look for how we can get knowledge about politics so that we can know that these people, they have no power. They are only deceiving us with mouth. All of them have mouth. They have sweet mouth. So when they switch that mouth to us, which we buy into their idea, then we follow them, which is not supposed to be.
All right. All right.
Then on the matter of peace accord, I think that the politicians should know what to do to make sure that all their leaders are informed when it is time to inform them, so that everything will go down just like the analyst said here. If everybody is carried along, you will see there will be peace. But they don't just go and do it up there and just keep it there. And when they go down, nothing happens. They don't tell anybody anything. And before you know, things continue the way it is before. So that's just my contribution.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, this one says, good morning to you. Kudos to our doctors in the house. I wish the election comes and goes. I urge the electorate to vote wisely. Both the masses and the politicians are all stakeholders in vote buying and election malpractice. No excuse or putting blames on politicians that they impoverished us. When Nigerians can engage in exam malpractice and bankers can still take bribe in banks. I voted for Buhari and I didn't regret it. Just not because I am better, but not regret because I did not collect money. I did not vote for Jonathan because I did not hate him or I hated this party. I voted based on my conscience. I will still do the same this coming elections. I won't vote for a party. I will vote for candidates because they can't be in this party and be in another party tomorrow. This is from Abdul Wahid Olukoba. All right, thank you so much, Abdul Wahid. Good morning in the studio. On the issue of signing peace agreement, there is no place for rule of law. Also, our constitution is not something to be reckoned with. That is why politicians misbehave and go against the rules and regulations. God bless Nigeria. Olani from A Division. Let's see if we can take one more call. Hello. All right, do call us back. 09136556952. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
BISOLA is my name. I'm calling from ODUWOLE house.
All right. All right, good to have you on the show. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. Your voice talk very, very fine, but you missed one point, very, very important point. We're supposed to build the institution in Nigeria. The Nigerian police, since they are committing offense, after they have already know the sign peace accord and they are making inciting statements, police supposed to take care of that. But our policemen, from IG to the commissioner of police, they used to afraid of these politicians. This is one of the problems.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. So he's saying that the law should take its course whenever any of these parties or their candidates go against the peace accords that has been signed.
You know, while the president was in his present address to them yesterday, let me quote one thing that the president said. He said, "We will continue to act with neutrality and allow the rule of law to take precedence over political expediency." That was the president's speech. And he said any aggrieved candidate should resort to the established judicial process, and we must have confidence to trust our legal system. Did the president himself trust the legal system? That's a big question.
All right. This one says, good morning, House. The peace accord can never work because there's too much money in our politics. Where there's too much money, there is a do or die affair. And when there's a do or die affair, there can never be peace. Our constitution needs to be amended. That's from Isa Mohammed from Ilorin. Do we have one more call? Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Ibrahim Abdulrazak calling from Moloje.
All right, Ibrahim, go ahead, sir.
Kudos to doctor in the house.
Thank you, sir.
The peace accord is just a gentleman agreement. It has no basis in the rule of law. No basis in the rule of law.
All right.
And the politicians being what they are allies. Apart from politics, there are other things that connect them together. And that is what the masses does not know. They share businesses together and some other things. And at the end of the day, whatever happens in the election, they will still go back to the status quo. Their businesses are more paramount to them than the life of citizens in Nigeria.
All right.
It's just for us to look deep and see who is better off among the evils. Those are just the things. Just let us pick the test out of the evils.
All right.
God bless Nigeria.
God bless Nigeria. Thank you so much for that contribution. Now, let's quickly move on to the second issue for the day. But you can still join in via our social media platforms, 091-3655-6864. And we need to go on a short timer. All right, so you can still join us via our social media platforms. You can watch us live on Facebook and drop your comments under the post on Facebook. Now, let's quickly run through this one. And this is a dominant conversation that has been on for 3 months now, and that is the Naira redesign. It is not an ending conversation, and we don't see an end in sight yet for this particular one. Now, yesterday it took another twist. The Supreme Court on Wednesday adjourned the case instituted by state governments against the federal government, challenging the implementation of the Naira redesign. The Apex Court adjourned the case to March 3rd for judgment. Earlier, the Apex Court consolidated the suits instituted by over 12 state governments. At the last hearing on February 15, 7 states joined the 3 initial states to be co-plaintiffs, while Edo and Bayelsa joined the federal government as co-defendants. The court, however, refused to join Abia State in the suit on the ground that it came late with its originating summons. Now, the plaintiffs in this suit are the Attorney Generals of Kaduna, Kogi, Zamfara, Ondo, Ekiti, Katsina, Ogun, Cross River, Sokoto, and Lagos State, while the defendants are the Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malani SAN, as well as the Attorney Generals of Bayelsa and Edo State. Attorney General for Kano State is a co-plaintiff, and he argued that President Muhammadu Buhari sidelined members of the National Economic Council and only relied on the advice of the CBN governor in the implementation of the monetization policy. He stressed that the president decided to exercise his powers without consulting the state governments as required by law. He further stated that they have a security report that there will be a breach of law and order if nothing is done to address this cash scarcity. He mentioned that the Kano State Governor, Abdullahi Ganduje, is a member of the council, and he told him that the issue was never discussed at the NEC meeting. Rather, the president relied only on the member of the council, and the CBN governor ignored the finance minister and the vice president, who is the chairman of the council. The justice also pointed out that the president can direct that the old 200 notes be brought back as a legal tender. Then he is under the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. So yesterday's court ruling, let's quickly talk about it. Did it add to the ongoing conversation or not?
Yesterday, we don't expect less than what we have yesterday. You know, right from time, the cases has not been heard.
All right.
So it was said yesterday that the hearing came up, and they have heard from both sides, both the for and against. So that's why they now set the judgment for 3rd of March. So it is on 3rd now that we'll be expecting judgment.
All right.
Now, be that as it may, the court did not tell us yesterday that they are vacating their previous order. That shows that the previous order still subsists.
Still stands.
So that is now on the ground that the governor of Kaduna, Kebbi, and I think Kogi, they were standing on that court order and to allow their people to continue to spend the 500 naira, 200 and 1,000 naira note. So the court did not, and they were technical. There was a technical, because the court said that they don't want to be taken as scapegoat, and they will not allow anybody to use them as scapegoat. So because they have to be very careful, whatever they say now, we are in a dicey situation, and the court, people rely so much on the court now to bail us out of this problem. And it's now a matter between a state and the federal government. So they have to be very careful with whatever they say. If they should give anything now, yesterday, before the election, that people now rely on it and say, the court has decided, and they started destroying things, it will affect the election. So that's why technically the court has to find a way of adjourning till after that election, so that election will just go, and don't take us and say the court has caused katakata for the election. So and that they kept quiet, they did not say they are vacating the previous order. But that means that since they did not say anything, the previous order is still there. And that of president too is also there. So we have to continue to manage those two until the 3rd, so that the election can go.
Okay.
But unfortunately for the Mr. President, that was, the quotation I quoted the other time of what he said at the signing of the Peter Court yesterday, that they will not allow the political president to take over the rule of law. But now is now respecting that. Is allowing his own personal interest to now take over president over the rule of law, which is not what we are expecting from the Mr.
Still talking about the
President.
presidency's approach to this particular issue. Now, it was established that the governors were not part of this conversation from the onset, the Naira conversation. How would you rate, what does this say about the presidency's approach to this whole issue?
I said it in one of my outings here that the whole scenario of this Naira redesign is just an agenda of Mr. President and the CBN governor. It
So
is
they
just
did
not carry the right people along. Whatever is the issue between the two of them, only God knows, and it's only God as their third person that will know what is between them. It's between Mr. President and the CBN governor. Initially, when this thing started, people rushed to the Minister of Finance. Honorable Minister, well, this is what we heard. The minister said, I have not been carried along. I don't know anything about it. Now we have the economic team of Mr. President, headed by the Vice President. They are not carried along. That was also there. The CBN will be going to the Mr. President. Mr. President will be giving the CBN backing. So it has been between the two of them. Later, when the issue started and it becomes a problem, it was a good policy in the initial stage, but the implementation was wrong. And the implementation has caused problem to people. And Mr. President will think that Mr. President should have think that we have elected him to take care of our welfare. And things that is affecting us now, I said it in one of my programs, that no matter the reason behind the Naira design, once the policy has been taken and is affecting the whole generation of Nigerians, Mr. President should do the right thing to now take the course of the welfare of the people and not whatever the reason that is behind their initial intention.
All right.
So, but their intention was paramount to them, because no matter what you want to say, that we don't want people to buy vote, we want election to be credible, and I said it initially that you have now discredited us in the name of looking for credible election, and whatever you are doing that has affected Nigerians, I don't think Mr. President has any other reason that should be more germane than to toe the line of welfareism of Nigeria. So, but Mr. President has not done that. That is where he has made a lot of mistakes. Then the Council of State met, advised him to, he did not follow. The court also, the highest court in the land, also prevailed on him, he did not. So it's just agenda between him and Emefiele. And whatever they are doing, I think it is left for them.
All right, let's take some contributions before we wrap up on this particular story. You can call us in 09136556952, 09136556952, or send us a message via WhatsApp 09136556864. All right, this one says, good morning once again. I still disagree that the candidates are not taking the peace accord seriously. I'm still saying it that the masses are more instrumental to having a peaceful election. Let me give you an example. One group that I'm a member of on WhatsApp, a member posted a video showing someone saying that any youths that vote for a particular candidate is derailed. Almost all of us in that platform got furious and started throwing banters. Please, does any presidential candidate know me here in Ilorin and see me fighting my friend over him? That's from Abdul Wahid. All right, thank you for that message. Good morning. Hello, good morning. All right, keep the calls coming in. Good morning. Peace Accords has not helped anything because we have not seen the dividends of it. Let the security agencies deal with the troublemakers once and for all. All right, 09136556952. That is the number to call. Good morning, presenter. I have nothing to say. All right, thank you for that message. 09136556952. That is the number to call. In case you're trying to call in and it's not going through, kindly send us a WhatsApp message. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning once again.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Shola calling from Moro.
All right, Shola from Moro. Go ahead.
You see, the matter of this morning matter.
Yeah.
It was a wrong movement from the beginning. And that is why the people that are supposed to be carried along were not carried along. When you want to do things, two people cannot just sit down in one place and make the matter of the whole country to be only what two of them will be decided. It's something that all the executive will have to come together. They will have envisaged all these things that is happening now. Some of them will have brought it up. They will have said, this can happen, this can happen. So they will have discussed all these things right from the beginning. But when you don't do that, you find out that this kind of thing is happening now. then that is the mistake of Mr. President and the governor, who is the governor of the central bank.
All right.
And this is where they put us today. So they should take the blame for it.
All right.
And I believe that when the court will finally give their judgment, they should not look at Mr. President and Emefiele. They should do the right thing. They should be able to give us the right judgment when the time comes.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much, Shola from Oro. Good morning, presenter and the guest in the house. One of the major problems in this country is the governors and even the senators, not the presidency. Above all of these guys do not respect the rule of law, which is bad. ASU strike, nothing happened. Petrol scarcity happened. Naira policy happened, nothing happened. Okay, Naira policy, now the governors are shouting. We should know that there is more to this. This is AK from Gakombi. Hello, good morning. 09136556952. And on Facebook we have this one. It says vote wisely. That's from Kolade Ayinde. 90% of Nigerians are living in deplorable and frustrating circumstances. In summary, the current politicians are serving themselves. Vote for a candidate that can provide access to food, education, healthcare and security. Access means hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Olayemi.
Olayemi. All right, good to have you on the show, Olayemi. Go ahead.
My only practical advice is what is that agreement this time? And when they sign the agreement, my opinion is that they should, whenever they sign the agreement, they go to high court of the state, stand there, and they should, the campaign they are doing, they should stop talking about the other parties negative. They should tell us what they are saying to do for us. The Mr. A party should not mention the party. Just talk about your own plan. That's all.
All right.
That's my own kind of opinion.
All right. Thank you so much. And Kolade Ayinde says Nigerians should vote for better and trustworthy candidates in February 25, 2023 elections. We need to wrap up now.
My advice to Nigerians is that we should not allow this court to decide for us during this poll. We should go out there to decide for ourselves. Because if there is any problem, the court will finally decide for us, and we don't want that.
All right.
So people
Nigerians should vote wisely. All right. Thank you so much. My guest on the show this morning has been Dr. Hadi Moshood Atonda. He is the Director, General Studies, Kwara State College of Education in Ilorin, and he's a public affairs analyst. A very big thank you to you, Dr. Hadi, for coming in the studio this morning. All right, and it's a wrap on the show. Thank you to everyone who contributed. We must build this Nigeria together. This is our country, and we have nowhere else to go. So Nigeria will definitely be great again once we play our part. And the elections are coming. Please ensure that you come out and vote wisely. Vote for a candidate of your choice, and then let's see how the whole thing unfolds in the next 4 years. But we pray for a better Nigeria. My name is BISOLA ODUWOLE Suleiman. Do ensure you have yourselves a beautiful rest of the day. Don't touch that dial. It is still Diamond 88.7 FM in Ilorin.
Follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Diamond 887 FM. Diamond FM, shining supreme.